day 5 of our trip. It's been kind of an incredible trip. We started with the Harwood family that's been doing this. We've now got over 100 miles on our kind of resume. We had 5 people that 2 I know just willingly volunteered. 3 might have been drafted, but they were okay with it. I knew if we got to today that we basically would have some trail miles and be able to accomplish a mighty goal. We heard so much about Albert Mountain, how tough it was to climb, and it was tough coming up. I think Sharp Top Mountain was a little bit harder because it was longer and about as tall. We got up to a nice sunrise, had a good breakfast, and then we traveled for about 4 miles, probably within about 2-3 hours. Had a good lunch, and we basically 2 little mountains with us, the third one here at Albert Mountain. As you get a chance later to see, as we kind of pan around, we have a tower here that gives us a whole 360 view of the old Appalachian Mountains. There are some who say that with basic plate things and this, that, and the other, that this all evolved. I beg to disagree. I look at all this and I see the beauty and wonder of everything, and I can't help but see the intelligent design who made all this. Yes, the trail was conceived and designed by man, and it's even maintained. But first, the ingredients had to be there to start with. You know, sometimes it can be kind of treacherous. You're carrying a 40-pound pack, or more, depending on who you are, to kind of go through there. And it's amazing how every once in a while, as you kind of sweating through all that, you see a nice little flower. Today we got the nice advantage of going through what was a rhododendron, basically forest. I would love to come back in April and May when those things are in full bloom and just see it. It was just something that was gorgeous. And they just kind of grew here. Nobody planted those except for God. We get up here in Albert Mountain and we can see 5 different states. We can see for an average of 150 miles per mountain. All the way to Tennessee, down to Georgia, probably parts of South Carolina. We maybe even glance up into Virginia, I don't know. But I know one thing, it's an incredible view. You kind of look back to Russia. See the closest mountain, the one furthest above that is Standing Indian, and that's where we were 2 days ago. And we have since come around that, down through the little path, there's little smaller hills there, and we've come up over here, all the way around the mountains you see there until where we are now at Albert Mountain. It's about 13 miles that we've covered. Most of what we've seen has been woods, but we've had some great views on top of Standing Indian. We've had some others on the sides of the mountains. You know, there's one thing about the Blue Ridge Parkway that you can drive up and see, but you're always looking up. It's a totally different view when you're looking down. I'm standing here with a good friend of mine. This is Mark Ostrega. He may be 11 years old, but he's become 12?
Going on 13 in 6 months.
He may be 12, but he has grown into a man over this weekend as he's carried his own weight. As he started the trail, he was complaining about this and that, and his feet hurt, and he had too much in his backpack, and today he's carried his pack without complaining. As a matter of fact, he even traded with Kendrick, who had a heavier backpack, and carried it all the way up here. What was interesting, the funny story, one of the reasons I wanted him up here, we've had to keep someone with Mark and encourage. Come on, Mark, you can do it. We're almost there. Come on, Mark, keep going. We're almost there. We'll take a break here. Today, as Dusty was trying to go up and be manly and trying to run up a little bit, he got about halfway up, just tired out. No, why are we doing this again, Dad? And Mark grabbed the microphone, walkie-talkie from him. Come on, Dusty, you can do it. So the complainer has become the encourager as he has taken a step toward manhood.
I won't complain for the first day. That's it.
You got
and that was only halfway of the day. That's because I wasn't used to it, so, you know.
Anyway, you had something else you wanted to say.
Oh yeah, if you see me a picture with my eyes sort of closed, no, I don't have lazy eyes, and everyone's laughing, and say hi to the tech producer, Dusty.
And I'll let him kind of scan so you can kind of maybe somewhat see what we've walked up here with 40-pound packs on our back to get here to see.
Kind of hard to see over there with the sun in the way. We'll get some very nice sunset pictures here shortly. We've got quite an amazing view over here. The camera doesn't quite even pick up all the angles that we have. I mean, we can see a few more ridges beyond what the lens can pick up because it's kind of see through the fog a little bit. So, well,
you would think that mountains are just one little range, and yet we look here and we see 6, 7, sometimes 8 different ranges that all kind of comprise of that, and this is just part of it. There's about 5 or 6 more on the other side of that, which is where we're heading to eventually as we kind of cross through the Nantahala and cut back toward the Great Smoky Mountains. They're all on the western side. So it's been a good day. We've had very little complaints. People have kind of gotten in shape a little bit, lost a little weight, but the biggest thing, we got our trail legs, and as we've looked at this, we've been able to behold the beauty of God and think, you know, there's something more than just what we know. That's it. Well, good morning. The end of day 6. It was kind of a longer day than I expected. We really were expecting to go about 5 miles and stay at a shelter because I didn't want to try to push the kids too long, because to get to the end of the trail was going to be almost 10 miles, and I didn't know if they were up to it. You know, even though they've kind of got some trail legs behind them, they've got shape. We started to notice some ankles turned here and there on some rocks and things, and I think one of them had hyperextended her knee. It was kind of making it rough to try to make that last, and I just thought 10 miles would be too much. But the ideal popped in about half there. All the girls wanted out. All they could think of was hot showers down in Nantahala, and about half the boys wanted to make it. They wanted to get over and get off the trail. So I said, well, we'll see how it goes. We had some easy hiking down. We made 3 miles within about an hour and a half. It was another 2.5 miles to the shelter, and that had a little bit of up and down on it, but still it was relatively easy. And before we knew that, we were there by 6, and even though a couple of them are hurting, another one had sprained his ankle a little bit, kind of going down a little bit, they still wanted to get off the mountain and get off the trail. So I said, well, let's go. So we had a pretty big climb over this last little mountain to kind of get up, and as we were going up, Alex's girlfriend Autumn was having some difficulty, but most of us kind of got up there, and I told him, I said, well, if Autumn says she can make it, we'll go. Otherwise, we had a camp spot there kind of on the top of that little mountain, and we were going to stay there and finish up the other 2 miles this morning. But when Autumn got to the top, she decided, let's go. So I sent Dusty, Mike, and Renee and kind of started on down the mountain to try to get her cars and go retrieve the other 2 so we could kind of get out of here and maybe move that night. But apparently they got lost on the way, but the rest of us was moving very quickly. Surprisingly, by the time Dusty and them had got to our pickup car, the rest of us was there within about 20-30 minutes. So we were moving very quickly. We're very thankful for the Nantahala having very slow declines, which made it easy for us to move very quickly. The kids were excited about getting out,